Guys, look, maybe if we become enough of a superhero, maybe Nathanias could be a romanceable character in ZeroSpace. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, why not? Can anybody think of a reason not? I can't. After all, why not? Why shouldn't we be able to romance Nathanias? You guys get it? You guys get it? Thank you. You guys always have my back. You guys always have my back, and I appreciate that so much. How's everybody doing today? Our plan is pretty simple. We're going to play some ZeroSpace. If we have fun, we're going to lean with it. We're going to rock with it. If we don't have fun, we got a bunch of other stuff that we can do. But today is I'm gonna call this, for all the true believers in the chat, because that's probably what you would have to be to watch me play anything that's not StarCraft. I just want to say, you guys are the best. If you can hear me, you're one of my favorite people. You might not think it's a big deal to me that you're here early or whatever, but like, it means so much to me. It really does. It really does. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I just, I think you'll appreciate me saying that today's a me day. Today's a me day. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I'm excited about all the RTS stuff happening this year, but today is going to be a day where I'm going to do something that I've been really excited about, playing this game. I very deliberately not played it. I did like 2 games just to kind of see. I kind of wanted to get a feel for if I thought it would be like, you know, functional or not. There's a pretty big difference. There's no NDA on this anymore for me, so I think I'm allowed to just tell you whatever I want about this game now. It's very much further along than I expected. They've got a bunch of different races in the game. They're all fully playable. They've got a ton of cool shit. There's like heroes and stuff. It's pretty dope. And really, you know, in StarCraft, you have like Terran, Zerg, Protoss. And like, you know, Terran can play Protoss or Terran can play Zerg. And Zerg can play Protoss or Zerg can play Terran. And then they can all play themselves. But in this game, you have like sub-factions out the wazoo. Because you get to make a choice at the beginning of the game about a hero that you want to play, that you want to have. There's like a cooldown. You don't get to spawn your hero at the very beginning because, I don't know, probably something to do with like Fear Dragon, maybe cannon rushing people and ruining their lives. But it's very clean. It's very polished graphically. It doesn't look like an alpha product to me. I think probably the biggest thing for these guys, in my opinion, seems to be that they've just got a lot of work to do on the single player stuff and building out the universe that they want to do. The core game seems really tight. I think with time, they're only going to improve the visual assets. There's a little bit of silhouette clutter with certain kinds of units, but we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna make our own opinions. Honestly, this thing's also been updated like 3 or 4 times since I last tried it. So I'm gonna just out myself right there and say everything I might have said could have also been tweaked. So I played a couple of games. I played a couple of games of it in the beginning of December. Cats reached out to me Katz is one of the people that is working at Starlance Games. He's there, as well as Scarlet, if you know Scarlet, one of the most prolific StarCraft 2 pros of all time, and Katz, of course, the cerebral genius of StarCraft and best dressed commentator of any tournament that they've done. But I got to play a couple of games, and I was like, okay, this seems kind of cool. But they were like, nobody's gonna be playing this with you for probably a month. So I was like, I don't want to just practice versus AI in my spare time, you know, because I feel like it would be. First of all, there's like a ladder qualifier this month. I don't think I'm gonna try for that. But there's like a $10,000 tournament. They're doing a $10,000 tournament at the end of the alpha this month, which is like, Jesus, you know. But it's like based on ladder rank, and I don't know. You know, like I'm scared if I get too into the competitive side too fast, it's gonna be like that scene in The Other Guys. It's gonna be like that scene in The Other Guys. You know how Eva Longoria has to keep Will from turning back into Gator. So I don't ever want to go back down that road. I don't want to be Gator again. So I'm gonna be pretty conservative with stepping into the ladder. I'm going to be pretty conservative with stepping into ladder and playing against other people, and, you know, I think I'll have fun with it. I'm going to try to enjoy it. We're definitely going to do it. I mean, I still ladder StarCraft every day, and I don't freak out or anything, but I'm probably going to want to be good at this game. So at least in that climb up to being good, you know, we might be 2 to 3% more intense, but this, I think it's only going to be up for a couple of weeks. So we'll just be able to play this until I think it's January 22nd. I think January 22nd is when the test phase, the alpha phase ends, or this alpha phase ends. But I'm still really excited about Stormgate. I'm still really excited about the hopeful news that we'll get from like Microsoft about StarCraft 2. But at least for now, this is something that's new, that is pretty cool. I think, yeah. Oh, should I update the top text? Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. Oh, look at that. Look at Chet helping me out. How about this? Today, ZeroSpace Alpha. Day 0. Soon, D2 Remaster. Resident Evil. Perfect. I've been dying to play some more Resident Evil. So, like, if our game bugs out or if it crashes, it's an alpha build. I haven't had any issues with this at all. I tested it a little bit again yesterday. I tested it again this morning. I have the game running right now. So I'm not expecting us to run into any issues. What I really want to do today, first and foremost, is kind of explore the game. So that's why I'm stalling so much at the beginning here, because I know you guys are all going to want to see the settings. You're going to want to see the settings and the menu and all of that, and I want to see it too. I haven't dug through everything, so we're going to go through all of it together in just like just a couple minutes here while I get all my feelings out. Real quick, okay? Because I'm amped up and I'm feeling good, and I just had a mini Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, so the blood sugar is pow. Yeah. What else was there? What else was I gonna say? Yeah, that's about it. So we have other stuff that we're gonna do today. If we don't end up having a lot, or if we feel like we've gone through everything, because I think the majority of people that are gonna be playing this are getting in tomorrow. So apparently I was one of like the only people that was like down to do it today, because I don't know. They've Starlance has been having a little bit, they're just trying to get the word out there about what they're doing and all of that, because they've got a big vision, they've got a cool game, and I'm interested to check it out and hopefully help my friends out a little bit, get you guys excited about something else. So yeah. I think we'll have a lot to do. There's a bunch of different factions. There's like different mercenaries that you can get for each faction that like affect the stats and units and all of that. So yeah. But yeah, hi everybody. Good to see you. Hi Tiny Spider, Olex, Deriz, Faust, everybody. Will many people be in tomorrow? Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to assume a non-zero amount. There's not a lot of people on today, so I'm not going to be playing versus people. I just want to explore the game. I want to explore the game, kind of just mess around, look at stuff. I want to hear questions from you guys about, oh, Nate, can you try this or that? Like today is that day because it's for all of us, like the new player experience. As I said, I've pretty deliberately not done like a deep dive in my own time because I just want to make sure that the first time we're actually playing this game, it's together. Because why not? Like, what would I have to gain from trying to come out here and pretend I'm super smart, you know? And then pretend like your questions are dumb because they're obvious to me. Like, that doesn't make any sense, so that doesn't make any sense. My headset's pushing my hair down, so I'm gonna fix that real quick, and then I'll show you the game, all right? And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hang out, play this game, talk, and then either play like Diablo or Resident Evil or something later. We'll take a chill day. And then we'll decide if we want, if we're having a good time, if we figure something out that's kind of cool. We'll play some games versus AI. Maybe I'll come back on tomorrow and we'll ladder. We'll play against all the other people that are going to be, I don't know, competing. So yeah. That's about it. You want to have the top of the headset a little closer to the back. You never want the top of the headset on any forward part of your head. So I flatten it every night when I put it down on my desk. So it's like, gets a little small bunched up. Yesterday you ate a Reese's peanut butter cup snowman your wife put in your Christmas stocking. You ate the whole thing, then looked at the nutrition info and realized it was 700 calories and 75 grams of sugar. God bless America. Could you imagine living in a world where you couldn't get that? Can you? Can you? I can't. I absolutely can't. So close that. Yeah, the other thing I was going to do is make sure I have D2 installed. I do have Diablo 2 installed. Nice. So yeah, there you go. I don't know. You guys want to see the game? You guys want to see it? So we it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of like boot in. There's going to be like a leaderboard thing at some point. So that's kind of cool. The setup is fairly simple. This is an early alpha build. So this is a game that's being developed alongside the people that raise money with them on Kickstarter. They've got a big Discord channel. There's a bunch of cool people there. Very, yeah, it's like really cool. Options, there's a lot of good stuff here. The game supports attack move on unit rally, so you can turn that on, you can turn it off. They just leave it up to the player. They don't assume whether you're going to do that or not. So it's pretty customizable in terms of like the interface stuff. So this is the kind of thing that gets me excited. Cuz I like being able to get really granular with stuff. Right click on a portrait to cancel. So it's like I'm not even sure I know what that means. That's such a specific setting. But yeah, and then left clicking terrain, you can set different settings for that, and of course, my favorite option, the ability to not have my drag scroll inverted, is probably that one's nice. And so you can still use all the same controls as in like StarCraft. So stuff like that to me is a really big deal. Graphics wise, game looks pretty. You'll see it when we load into it. Game looks pretty. You'll see when we load in. But I mean, I just have everything cranked because I've got a really good computer. So I think you'll agree that it looks. I think you'll agree that it looks pretty. But the game also supports dynamic resolution. So that's cool. I don't think I need that. But if you have a computer that is maybe struggling in a big fight or at some other point when you're playing, that's the kind of setting that will make the game graphics a little bit worse so you keep your FPS up. So stuff like that is that's really good modern gaming features. Could you imagine if StarCraft had a way to kind of dynamically load balance? That's the future tech. That's the future tech that we want. It's the stuff that we like to see. So beyond that, I haven't looked at too much of this other stuff. So they've got all the health bar options. Damaged only health bars, always on, off, standard. I guess I could try always on so that I know what's a unit and what's not. That'll probably help me. I'm a noob, right? I'm a noob. Show flyer helpers, selected, never, always. Oh, we like that in StarCraft, right? We like always having that on in StarCraft. I enjoy having options menus, guys. Options menus are big. I did check from my boy upstairs. There's no FOV slider, but it's an RTS, so that doesn't really, you don't really need that. Negative 1000 tooltip delay. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, and they've got an option to show your ping in the game, so it's not some hidden hotkey that you have to hear about from another person. You can have the mini-map on the left or the right. I'm guessing that's what that means. The drag scroll, you can pick. You can pick to invert it or not. There's a toggle for that. There's a toggle for that. Yo, Nish, you get cool perks to stream earlier? Hell yeah, man. My boy, you know, I listened in on a, they did like a summit. They did a summit for this like a month ago online. We got into like a Google team meeting with Katz and Scarlett, and I gained such a profound amount of respect for listening to their thoughts on how they've been working on this game. And I don't really know the other developers personally, but they were quite passionate about their discussions. And yeah, I mean, I've always respected Katz as an intellectual and as a peer. Scarlett is somebody that's, you know, she's one of the absolute best StarCraft players. We've hung out a bunch of times. She's funny, she's cool, and their presentation on this game was really, really good, and I got to play it then, so that kind of got me hyped up on it. I got an email like a week ago that's like, hey, you can play this game on the 4th, and I was like, damn, I'm so excited. And then I'm like, Katz, is this still on the 4th? He's like, you know, nobody else really asked me about streaming it on the 4th, so I think you can, but you might not have anybody to play against. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, man. I'm just gonna play versus the AI. We're just gonna like look at everything. We're just gonna play with it like we've got the big tub of Legos that are unlabeled, and we're just gonna dump it on the floor and just take a look and just see. We're just gonna see what happens. So that's the idea. And then hopefully tomorrow, you know, there's we get some hype going. We get to play a little bit together. And you know what? If there's not a lot of people playing tomorrow, then maybe I do have to compete in the ladder qualifier, because $10,000 would get me a pretty nice honeymoon. So we'll maybe that becomes the grind. Maybe I'm not allowed to do that because I'm on today. I don't know. I'm figuring it out as I go along. All right, what are the hotkeys? Drag scroll, center camera, rotate camera. Looks like they're following StarCraft, right? M to follow the selected unit. That's like a caster button. Center camera, control L. Okay. Well, I would probably want these to be like the StarCraft ones, right? So like control F, right? Control F is what it is in StarCraft. And then in it's Control Shift F. No, Control Shift F. Oh, you can't do that hotkey in this one. That's fair. Let's stick with theirs then. Yo, thanks for the sub, Olex. Appreciate it, dog. Hey, Marchy March, everybody. If the background is real in-game graphics, the game is pretty. This is it's definitely in-game. I think it's running a pre-rendered cutscene that is definitely not the same resolution as my screen. But the in-game is very pretty. It's a beautiful game. I can tell you that. Thank you, Olex. Yeah. So this game is being put together by Starland Studios. They raised a bunch of money on Kickstarter. Their goal is to basically, they wanted to create the foundation of the game. So they've got the factions, they've got the races, they've got some of the lore and stuff, and like they've basically got the groundwork mostly covered. And they're still raising through their Kickstarter, but their plan is to build out a really cool RPG experience with this as like the core of the game. So that's what they're putting together, and it's supposed to be this big cinematic experience. Apparently, they reached a stretch goal to be able to romance people. I don't know too many details about that, but maybe if we win the first tournament, I can become a romanceable NPC. That kind of sounds dope. You know, that's always been my dream. To be that Persona character that you can take to Valentine's Day, and then I throw something in your face when I found out that you romanced every other character at the same time. So they've got all the standard controls here, right? There's a search box for the hotkeys. Yeah. Scarlett was very, very, very particular about how they really wanted to make sure that all of the settings allowed you to just dial in to a crazy degree. Like the fact that you can configure whether the unit rallies out of your buildings are on attack move or regular move, stuff like that is awesome. So I'm just going to go through the rest of these menus so we can kind of get into the game and I can show it off to you. But I figured that a lot of you might be nerds like me and you want to see all the menus. I want to see all the menus. I'm a nerd. This is how we go. This is how we go. So, yeah, so there's abilities. So left control for autocast. And they've just got a billion different things there. So attack move out of rally is dope. Just the fact that you can choose. Like, we had that in StarCraft beta, and then they're like, oh no, noobs won't understand, or pros won't be able to hide stuff. I'm like, why not give people freedom? Why not give people a choice? Slap a toggle on that bad boy, and now we have it. So the fact that they automatically disable the ability to click on enemy units, but like that's such a crucial part of the game, it's like, come on. Give people a choice here. Give people a choice. So here's the settings. There's a billion of them. There's a billion freaking hotkeys in this game. So you've got all of the default stuff. Pause. Skipping cutscenes, moving things around. So that's like kind of cool. And then there's replays too. I don't know if they work in this version of the game. I have not attempted to play or load up a replay or anything like that. I haven't tried to do anything like that. So it's just cool. I like looking at all of that. But yeah, and then you've got, of course, like your stuff for your don't worry, the F2 key is in the game. There's also a button to grab all of your production structures, and also you can just automatically grab all of your research buildings. So like you don't necessarily have to have you don't have to set hotkeys every game for your engineering bays. You just have a hotkey that's always engineering bays. That's basically what that means. So, and the same thing for your production. So if you want to put them on individual control groups, you can. I only played like 2 games when I was testing this out like a month ago, and control groups exist. They're in the game. You can do that. That was the first hotkey at the top. So, and then it's the same. So there's a hotkey just for workers. There's a hotkey just for your hero. And then for the mercenary compound as well if you want. So you can do all of that stuff. Next, harvester idle. So I don't know. Can I put that on my mouse button? There we go. Boom. It's on my mouse button. Wow, that was easy. All right. Let me grab my army hotkey. I have that on my mouse. Right. I put that on my mouse as well. There we go. Oh, baby. We're pod racing now. I'm already setting my hotkeys. I'm getting a little amped up. Look out. Yeah, this toggle. This is the one I was talking about, though. Attack move on unit rally. So units will be on attack move command when rallied. So when you build them. You can have them not attack. You can have them attack. You can have quick cast for attack move and patrol. So instead of having to A click, you can just have it anytime you press A, it'll automatically attack move on where your mouse is. So if you've played League of Legends, that's basically the same thing with like smart casting. So you can literally just like have your attack commands be smart cast. So I play League. I use smart cast. I use auto cast for all that. I don't like doing any of the confirming where the spell is going to be. So the quick cast to me, like that's a really great quality of life thing. Like that's huge for me. And then yeah, holding so they're working on some experimental stuff. I don't even know. You can make your units move on the drawn line. You can draw the movement path with your mouse. That's an experimental feature. These people are crazy. I love it. Draw a path. Can I draw a W while I have my DTs run into your base to kill you? I'm just saying in the replay it'll look really cool. That's it. You can auto-assign control groups. Damn. I feel like if I used this, I would probably break something. But you also have hotkeys for each unit type. So would I? How many times would I press that hotkey? How much would I use control groups if I was using the global hotkeys? And then you can do smooth camera movement when you drag the mini-map so that when you're like, I'm guessing that this is a commentator or tournament observing feature that would allow you to make it so when the observer clicks on the mini map, it doesn't just suddenly jump, it'll smooth it, or if the observer drags it, it doesn't, you know, jump around, I guess. But the fact that they're thinking about that stuff is really cool to me. So panning the camera, or if it just jumps. So there's a lot of options that look like they're designed for all of that stuff. I think the only other thing we didn't look at was, if you guys want me to go through it all again real quick, I will. But then there's the sound settings, so you can turn off unit response sounds. There's sounds for everything. You can raise it above 100%. You can go below 100%. If you want to boost it, under boost it, leave it where it is. Do your thing. I'm going to set it to a funny number. There you go. There you go. Can you type it? Okay, no. Okay. Eventually, I'm going to... The menu is so powerful, I assume eventually you'll be able to play the whole game from within this screen. And then, of course, having the sound play in the background. So you've got that, too. Yeah, but that's it. That's the menu. That's the settings. It's pretty cool. They let you get really granular with anything that you want to change. I think features like dynamic resolution are really important. I think that something like this is really big. Hey, Piwa. But, yeah, features like dynamic resolution, I think, are a really big deal. Thank you so much for the sub, Piwo. Dynamic resolution is great, but also, if you guys don't know what resolution scale is, so if you are trying to play StarCraft 2 and you're one of those people that's like, I just want as many frames per second as possible, I don't care if the game looks a little bit worse, I've got a potato computer, stuff like this allows you to set it so that the game would render at maybe 40%, so you would get a much worse like 3D models, but the user interface would still be rendered normally since it's not as demanding. So basically, you can play on a lower resolution without giving up the sharpness in the UI, so the game doesn't look, you know, like you're playing on a CRT or something worse. CRTs aren't, I don't know, they're really not that bad. It's just scan lines. I kind of, now that I'm older, I miss scan lines. I don't know if I hate CRTs, but that's it. That's the options menu. And then there's just a bunch of beautiful cinematics that just play behind everything. That's the Grell. Those are the little Zergling guys. They're terrifying. I absolutely love them. Those are the only guys that I've played. Find match. This, if you press this, it just immediately queues you. I don't think anybody else is on. I don't want to fight anybody, and I'm not joining anybody's games. There is an exit button. Your profile's in the top right. I don't think that's implemented yet, but I'm assuming at some point I'll be able to purchase a Nathanias icon and put that there so everybody knows that I love the best caster of all time. And then, yeah, here are the maps that we have available. So there is a tutorial map that I'm not going to play because I would rather learn as painfully as possible. But the basic way to understand this game is that design-wise, I don't believe you have the same... There's no camps on the map to take per se, but Vespine gas, the equivalent resource to gas, that resource is on the map always. So you do not spawn with the flux nodes inside your base. The only way to get flux is you kind of have to go out. You have to build a harvester, and the harvester goes and gets it. At least that's what I did with the Grell. So you don't just have a geyser for free in your base. You don't just rush up to the tech. The game encourages you to make the cheaper units earlier on and expand. And because of that, you know, I think the difficulty and the stress for a new player of trying to get into the game, people not being so easily able to rush up to, you know, troll builds or like tech rushes. It just kind of, I feel like I like that for smoothing out the early game. Don't jump straight into the crazy stuff. I personally like encouraging the game length to be a little closer to, I've always preferred the 7 to 15 minute game length personally. And then, of course, great games always go crazy long, but that's great. So I'm just going to pick this random map. We'll just got a large map. The AI might kill me, so I'm just going to host a game and play versus a bot, and we'll take a look at the other guys that we can do. So, as you can see, I'm set to the Grell. There's an AI here. There's a bunch of AIs. Apparently, the adaptive AI is not something that you want to trifle with. So we're gonna stick with the relaxed aimbot AI. I think that's the play. We're gonna stick with the relaxed aimbot play, and I don't know what he's playing as, but we can pick our faction here. So this is kind of what gets interesting. So first of all, the game, like this is the pre-game lobby anyway, at least the base version of it. It's kind of cool. You can see the map in advance. You can see the observers. You can see who the refs are. Spectate, invite your friends, blah blah blah. Like that's kind of cool, you know. So you could like just the fact that this is already set up is cool. YOLO. I hope this doesn't get saved to their servers. So yeah, there you go. You know, boom. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So then there's the factions. To me, this is where it gets like this is where my hype for the game comes from. Like all my hype for the game comes from this screen because there's stuff that I really like about this screen. And first of all, you've got the factions, you've got your Grell guys, you got the Protectorate. So these are like the humans. They're the military force for good. They protect human worlds from the Grell, and they're kind of like a military state, I guess. Basically, so they've got the jetpack guys, they've got the big ships, they've got the tanks. This is like the Terran equivalent. This is like the Terran equivalent. I'm guessing, yeah, you've got your mineral extractors, your headquarters, it's airstrip, etc. Then you've got the Grell, an alien bug species that helps Koru plants grow. So these are the plants that invasively take over worlds. So if you guys have ever read that indie book, The Hobbit or whatever, if you remember when they go through the sleeping forest or whatever, that's basically what these are. So there you go. Yeah. I posted a dank message in the chat. I'm really pushing the limits. I'm pushing the limits. So they have like the little guys. You build the stinger guys two at a time. Those are the little Zergling boys. They're very cute and fun to play with. And then there's the Legion. I don't know if this one's fleshed out quite as much, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm learning most of this stuff with you, so I'm just reading everything here. But this looks to be another human-derived kind of more outskirts, non-protectorate humans, basically. So a second human faction in that way. But the other cool thing with this is that they have the mercenaries that you can pick on the right side as well. So you have, these are like your units that you call down on the right. So when you pick them, it also affects your talents. So that's kind of the really interesting thing. And I just want to be really clear. Yeah, this is a very early alpha. This game is in development. There are a tremendous amount of things that are not ready, that are not done in this game. This version of the alpha is being tested so that they can have people playing games against each other, calibrate stuff on the engine, the network, get load on the servers, and collect data so that they can continue to improve the game. But this is by no means a representation of the final product that Starland Studios is putting out. This is simply an early alpha test, and I have been given the privilege to be able to show it off to you, partially because I'm not going to mislead you and pretend that it's a finished game. We're checking it out. It's in early development, but I think it's really far along, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But this is my favorite part. So each of the factions have talents. So it's simple stuff like this: 10% movement speed on the Grell, ranged units that are infused gain range. So with the Grell, this is the other cool thing. You get like energy, you get like a top bar energy like in co-op, and you can just spend it on, so for the Grell, you can just pick your random little guys and you can just power them up. And then they like kind of cocoon out and become a bigger version of themselves, and you just selectively pick where you want to use that. Like that's kind of cool. So they have a bunch of different stuff like that. But these talents are unique per faction, but you can also get separate talents from the mercenaries that you pick. So your mercenary call downs, yeah, there's a lot less units, but the reason why you pick them as well is because those talents affect all your stuff. So if you were to pick the Moran mercenaries as your mercenary faction, you're just getting extra passive energy for your abilities on your top bar, which affects everything that you're doing. So really, you're not just looking at 3 different factions at the moment. Like the amount of permutations of matchups that can exist is already like astronomically higher than just having 3 races in the game, because there's going to be a difference when you're playing against somebody who's using Grell with this mercenary camp and then someone who's using this one. You know, having extra energy, units restoring energy more, and then if you're holding a tower, you gain more power. Shields explode when they run out. So like that's a pretty hefty thing to set yourself into. And then on the other side, you gain money for killing enemy workers. So like you can pick all that stuff. So to me, that's just awesome. Destroying enemy harvesters reduces your merc cooldown. So if you want to be aggressive, if you're an aggressive player and you have an aggressive play style, you'd pick the Dread Raiders, and then you just get all this money, plus 25% damage and move speed for cloaked units, 40% unit vision. So you're just out there. You're gonna be out there. You're gonna see everything. Anything you kill is gonna give you money, and you are just pillaging. Like if you're that kind of player, you can really dial into that. And if you're the kind of player that wants to use the spellcasters, that wants to use the abilities, wants a defensive buff, then you can pick the Moran. So at the same time, you still have all the units. You still have all the units that you want from your faction. And the mercenaries are mix and match. So you basically pick one from each side. So it's not as far as I'm aware, at least this early in development, this is the way that it's set up. But it's really cool because again, like you've already opened up permutations of different matchups, which is awesome. So yeah, I haven't really messed with the hero units yet either, so I don't have any strong opinions there. And then, well, let's look at the Valkyries. So they're a pro-war species that splits its people into two sides and battles to see which side is stronger. Okay, they're the Dahaka boys. We got the Dahaka boys over here. They get minus 50% mercenary cooldown. All units get 5% lifesteal? What? And then a stronger hero buff. Okay, so this is if you want to play a hero focused style and then have your units like feed themselves to stay alive. That's actually nuts. And then the mercenaries get stronger when friendly units die nearby. So you basically get a stim pack effect when friendly units die around your mercenaries. So like that's a lot of options. Those are like 3 really good options. Those are 3 really good options. And then there's the Chakru Kingdom. They bow to an all-knowing God. That's it. He's omnipotent. We don't know anymore yet. We're still figuring it out. We're still studying him. So, like, you get all the talents of each faction here. That's just for what you're playing as. And then, of course, you've got different talents on this side. So eventually you kind of expect to see down the line that they're going to continue to add more ways to dial in what you want to be using, and then that's kind of the cool thing because I think you open up a lot of stuff. I would have always loved to see something like this in StarCraft, at least outside of the ranked mode. There should always be some kind of unranked queue that's just trying to make that multiplayer experience a little bit more fun rather than worrying about balance. This is something I've always wanted. So I love this. I love this. So the last faction, units gain stealth after not moving for 5 seconds. So all your units are Teemo. If you pick the Chakru Kingdom, you get to be Teemo. That's horrifying. Heavy units take 3 less damage. So you make the tanks that turn invisible and then they take less damage maybe. Maybe this is the turtle strategy. Light units gain plus 30 health. Well, that feels pretty big too. All right. This is like literally the first playable version of the game that's being shown off, so I'm exaggerating my responses mildly because I know you're watching, but also I wouldn't expect any of these numbers to be final. I wouldn't expect any of these numbers to be final. It's a work in progress. They're building this and developing it alongside the support of their community. So yeah, so these talent options, it's you've got the three factions that are in this build right now, and then you've got four mercenary talent options. And then they also have their own units. The mercenary camps themselves have their own units. So you can get, 2 giant crabs. I mean, that kind of sounds badass. I would love to get crabs. I mean, I'd love to call down mercenary crabs. And then the other one, you've got 4 hounds. Boom, you got shock troopers, you got a flame walker. I don't even know what that is. A giant flamethrower? Okay, that actually... Heavy range towbot? It's called a towbot. It can pull units towards itself. You can really tell that they had fun making this. Heavy tank with short range area damage. There you go. So they've got basically like a siege tank type unit. Hovercraft that can lay mines. Yo, we might be Dread Raiders, bro. I can put mines on the map and I get resources for killing workers. Yeah. And then so it looks kind of like a ghosty type unit, something like medium vehicle, which can shoot while moving, gains bonus attack speed versus nearby units. Okay. Attacks ground and air. So, okay. You get these guys, you're running around attacking while moving, and then every time you kill something, you get money. That's incredible. I like to see that. So I'm just going to play a game or two. We're not going to go crazy with this today, but I just wanted to show it off a little bit because I'm excited about that. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of this. Obviously, the big push, everybody's going to be on tomorrow. So I just I wanted to take this opportunity and just check this out. So because it's cool. But the game's pretty. You start, you get like this giant root guy. Your hero thing is in the top left. You get that in a certain amount of time, but like your base just spawns these little dudes automatically that you can make your buildings with. So for these guys, you make little cultivators, and they push out your grass. So you kind of, you know, like if you've played Zerg before, then you kind of know how this concept works. So you just get these little guys that appear over time, and they just push these dudes out. So I think you can also turn these into static defense as well. They have an upgrade. So you can make them into little turret guys. Yeah, it's pretty dope. So it's like instead of spreading like disgusting goop all over the map, you're just spreading out plants, man. You're just spreading out plants. It looks beautiful. It's really nice. It's crisp.
Building
You can zoom in. You can zoom in pretty deep in on it. I'll turn the music off for this, but it's a pretty game. Look how far you can go in. That's a deep zoom, man. That's a deep zoom. Somebody is working on this. They've got something pretty cool here. I think for spectator features, when you're showing stuff off like this is exactly the kind of thing that's gonna, you know, I think kind of grab people's eyes, because this map is like a desert. So if we're being honest, we really don't want it to just be a desert forever. We want to put something cool. So you've got nourishing pod you can make, so this provides supply, heals units nearby, so I guess I'd put that on like the ramp, right? So your base just automatically mines the minerals, and then it generates these guys that you just build stuff with. So a decent amount of it is automated, but if you want to take the flux, you have to make the harvester guys, and they'll just go out and find it, but it's out on the map. So it's outside of your base, there's none of them that are inside the main. So the whole game is just, if you want to get the better tech, you have to push out and expand. So it kind of naturally deters the whole mega turtle thing. And then all the building hotkeys and stuff are on the bottom. So it's like incubator for making basic units. So this is the primary one. It's like your Zerg barracks. As you can see, you've got multiple building selection, unit rally lines. And then you get talents that you can level up as well on the top left. So these were the talents that we were looking at the beginning of the game. So if the game is a little bit loud for you guys, I can take that down too. There you go. Lower that a little bit for you. But so you can still have these guys come out. You've got multiple building selections. It's not quite the same thing as just spawning a million larvae into units, but that's probably one of the cooler things, is that once you see these guys come out too, it's fun. So I think you can queue too with resources that you don't have, so you can kind of go a little bit. It'll spend the resources as soon as you can afford to build it, kind of thing. So you can still queue up even if you can't afford it. I'll take it up a little bit. But yeah. And then I like the little crab guys. But again, you can zoom in crazy far. Crazy far.
Unit production complete. Production is now idle.
It's fast, it's sharp. These little guys are adorable too. Absolutely adorable. And you can see on the production queue, it shows you as it's here that you've got, I think it's showing that I have 4 of them put up, and there's like a transport cooldown, so you can basically use a worm to bring units back. So there's like a recall built into this. But it's pretty cool. So you just make a bunch of these little, this was all I did. This was all I did in the little bit of testing that I did of it. And we'll try out our Grell rush. We'll try out our Grell rush on somebody tomorrow when the open phase begins. But It's pretty cool. It's really nice. It's really nice. I think the visuals are just absolutely gorgeous. You can use all the commands that you would use in like StarCraft to add to already existing control groups, and then you come out here. There's the peaceful AI. There's the peaceful AI that we set up. They've got their production structure here. They're making little dudes. Am I getting money for killing these too? I think I have to spend a point, right? There you go. Pillage. There you go. I think I get money for destroying the building now. So it's like pretty cool, right? And I like that's about it. It's pretty nice. There's a lot of different ways that you can configure it and set it up, but like I said, this is going to be open to a lot more people tomorrow. So we're not really going to be, there's not really too much to dive into yet. So it'll be a little more fun when we can start messing around and playing with people. But as you can see, visually, they've got something going on here. It's clean enough. The units stand out. I like how they move around. You can do funky stuff. The time to kill is just low enough that you can do really good stuff like surround micro and whatnot. So for me, those are all the things that I want to see in the game, that you can do the high-end micro. And personally, taking the focus off the macro a little bit, like that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. People like playing the game. People like running around and doing stuff. You still have to make the harvesters. You still have to protect them. They can still be sniped. That's still the only way that you get the tech stuff in the game. So, you know, like there's still a lot of choices that you have to make when it comes to how you want to set up, where you want to go, where these guys go. And like I was saying, you can turn these guys into ground static defense as well. I set it to the non-responsive AI because I just wanted to run around and show this, but it's nice. It's clean. It's pretty. And I'm sure that if I was going up against somebody who has played this game any degree more than me, I would get absolutely shadow realmed and obliterated. But it was really fun. It was really fun to check this out, and I appreciate you guys keeping your comments about all the games, all the RTS games, very civil. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. We're very appreciative that the developers of Starlands are willing to let people see this game and be able to, you know, get excited about RTS. That's what it's all about, man. But this was the big thing I wanted to show off. I appreciate you guys coming and checking this out. There's not too much else to do right now. It's an early core build of the game. They've got a lot of good stuff here already, as you can see. People are going to be able to start playing it against each other, and you're going to see a lot of that with the ladder competition starting tomorrow. So that's going to be awesome. There's going to be competitive content out. There's going to be a big tournament. And even if you don't like anything about it, just spread some grass. It's just pretty. Watch that. Watch that just eat the map. It's beautiful. I didn't want to spread Concord grape jelly all over the map for 10 years. This, I could get down with this, man. I'm spreading good vibes. That's what this is. That's what I like to see. Oh, this world was barren before I came. I feel like I made this world a better place. I feel like I made this world a better place. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah. It's pretty cool. Make sure to wishlist. Yeah, definitely. Play ZeroSpace.com. So we'll be playing this a bunch. We'll be playing this a bunch over the weekend when the big testing phase starts up tomorrow. We'll be getting out and playing a lot of this, so we'll get to see different types of matchups. But for me, the biggest thing that I'm excited about is just the factions. It's knowing that this Grell doesn't necessarily have all the same passives available to them as me. So they may not have the pillage, they might not have the mercenary perks available to them or stuff like that. So the way that the game can be different, even in a mirror matchup, is something that I think keeps the game potentially very, very fresh relative to, the way mirror matchups, people are like, oh, it always has to be stale because you have the same units. Well, in this game, I'm not convinced that that's going to be the case. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Very excited about this. Very excited about this game and this project. I just want to give another big thanks to Starland Studios again. This is on Steam. I would highly recommend wishlisting it on Steam. That'll do great for them. And let your friends know that RTS is back, baby. We got lots of good RTS stuff. We got lots of good RTS stuff coming out, being worked on this year. Big moves with ZeroSpace, big moves with Stormgate. You know me, guys. I'm not a gatekeeper or a hater. I love all RTS. I want to see everybody party hard and succeed and do big things. And I'm hoping to see this game be one of those big things because it looks damn good. You always dislike the creep, but grass? Exactly. I know, I just went on like the most epic rant of all time. I'll make sure I didn't miss too much, but yeah. Yeah, as long as you guys can keep your comments respectful, of course. I just want to remind you, it's an early build of the game. It's an early alpha build, and the whole point of it being shown this early is that everybody can pitch in ideas together and help the development team get things to where they need to be for everybody to enjoy themselves. So that's really the number one thing that I want to stress. It's a very early version of this game. One of the reasons why we have access to show it off is because, you know, it's important to make sure that we give that frame of perspective. This is a project in development that's only going to improve, and it's already really sexy. I feel like it speaks for itself. There's not too much to dive into. You can tell that there's a lot of room for them to add stuff. I don't know how many factions they're going to end up with. I know that they've got a lot of stretch goals on their Kickstarter that they've pushed through, and it's all going to be a matter of time. So it's only going to get better, but they're trying to drum up a little bit of excitement because they've got something that they can show off now, and it's part of their project to make sure that they take that feedback into account in the development process, and they're not just trying to rush through it. So for an early alpha, I mean, it looks fantastic. I like that I can run around fast. I like that I can make lots of units and do all sorts of cool stuff and have responsive control to move for a surround or a spread or a flank. Like all of this stuff is everything that I like about playing strategy games, because you get that ability to make those move-ins, pull a couple of the weak guys off the back. The fights aren't too long, but they are just long enough that you can do stuff like that. Unlike, you know, moving 2 packs of lings at each other and just watching the fight happen. So it might be a little bit faster sometimes, but this gives you a little more reaction time if you're not a professional RTS player, shall we say. So it's cool stuff. I'm just gonna make a bunch of dudes and overrun this base. Just gonna make a bunch of dudes and overrun this base. See if we can just end this. I don't know if you can build on the enemy grass. I definitely haven't tested that. I'm gonna buff up my guys. Oh, I need supply.
Enemy sighted.
Yeah, I made a harvester for the thing, but I'm not getting into anything super technical or granular because other people aren't playing yet, and I'm not trying to get like a big head start on people, you know. I just kind of wanted to show it off since I had access, so that's all. We'll be going hard on this over the weekend, and starting tomorrow, there's going to be a lot more people playing. There's going to be a lot more people on, so those are the things. Oh, I love that, actually. You get to pick. You have to pick between these 3. Oh, wow. So it gets really granular with the talents. I didn't even realize that. I literally haven't touched this until today. But there you go. And I guess I have 4 mercenary charges ready. Boom. Oh, these are little cars, huh? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go kill them. Yeah, it's pretty cool. How big is the game? Well, like file size wise? I can check after for you. Are these mercenary camp guys just gonna completely obliterate them with the move while shoot? Oh, I don't even know what that was. Oh, is that because I killed his hero? Oh, that's beautiful. Wait, his guys are jumping up and down cliffs? I didn't research that, huh? Oh, filthy. Filthy! Look at Nathan bragging about wrecking the unattentive bot. It's amazing. It feels like the first time I won a game of Fortnite. It's incredible. You guys know how hard it was to clutch the 1v1 against Flamingo 322? Definitely a real person. Definitely a very real person. And there's the harvester, by the way. So like if you want to get the high value resource, you have to expose yourself like that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's kind of got a choke point over there. Can I get through that? There we go. Love to see it. Yeah, I mean, if the game is this far along, this early, I think that it's going to be actually quite fun to watch people play against each other. I haven't seen what the spectator client looks like at all, but I think being able to see people play against each other is going to be really big. And I think that, I mean, I already see them you could easily have fun games playing this. This is already fun. I'm literally killing a completely unattentive bot, and I feel like it's just nice to click stuff around. It's just nice clicking it around. I mean, this is basically a ground battle cruiser. There you go. We're going to be Dread Raider boys, that's for sure. I've got all the settings maxed out. I'm playing in 4K resolution. It's a pretty game. It's a pretty game.
Production.
I don't know if I haven't upgraded any of my stuff, and I think the AI guy knows how to do it. So I think I might just not have the firepower to kill him anymore.
Unit production complete. Production.
Again, I'm not trying to spoil too much of this for myself, since everybody's going to be jumping onto the ladder tomorrow. So I will humbly surrender my first public game of ZeroSpace to the AI. Let me give you the gentleman's dab, sir. Well played, well met. Yeah, well, I think that especially in multiplayer modes, there's always been an implication that it exists outside the space of the lore, right? So I think that when it comes to giving players options to make their experience more personal and memorable, I think prioritizing that aspect of it with the understanding that mercenaries are just people that exist in this universe and all factions hire them, to me, that just kind of makes sense. Like, I think that that's a pretty easy level of suspension of disbelief to get to. So, you know, it's kind of like how in Star Wars, nobody doesn't hire the assassin guys. Like, they take whoever will pay them. That's kind of the idea. So I don't know. I think it's really cool. I really like the mercenary mechanics that they have. I really like the talents. I think that gives so much option again for the granularity on that level, like how far down you can go with it. And as far as the hero thing is concerned, it didn't seem too impactful. It feels like there's a lot of other cool stuff to play with and use. It feels like there's a lot of other cool stuff that you can just mess with. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just wanted to show this off a little bit because I know that I was told that I could stream it today, but apparently the memo didn't completely get around, so other people didn't have plans for it. So it's just me. So I don't really have too much to do, so I'm gonna hop off. But I just want to thank you guys for checking that out. If you want to get another look at it, I would just look at the VOD. We looked at a decent amount of stuff, but I'll be on playing this all day tomorrow. I'll be playing this all day tomorrow. We'll be playing on the ladder. We'll be playing against other people. So we'll be getting into all of that crazy stuff. So that's what's got me the most amped up. But I think I'm probably just gonna go ladder. I think I'm just gonna probably go play some StarCraft ladder now. So because again, there's nobody else on ZeroSpace, so I'm not going to just sit there playing versus bots all day. That's it's not exactly what I was planning on doing. So pretty stoked. I turn the music back on. But thanks for checking that out, guys. I'm gonna play some StarCraft ladder now. We're going to be doing a lot of ZeroSpace. We're going to be doing Diablo this weekend, so make sure to come check that out if you're interested. And of course, I'm going to be playing ZeroSpace tomorrow, so you'll be able to see us go through it. We can try out all the factions, we can try out all the units, but I don't want anybody to feel like I cheated them and got the early scoop on this. So I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice and play something else. Thanks for hanging out. I love you guys. Yeah, it looks very good. It looks very good. It's awesome. Awesome. Freaking dope. Hey, Glack. Hey, hey. Yeah, I really like the mercenary thing. I like the mercenary thing. I feel like the unit silhouettes are really clear. And we can talk about that. We can talk about it as much as you guys want, but yeah. I would love to dive in and just start grinding and doing stuff, but you know, the big day for all of that is tomorrow, so at least it's just a fun little preview, you know what I mean? All right. I just got to reboot my gaming PC into Linux real quick. I think we're just about there, yeah. I think we're just about there. Thanks for the preview. You're welcome, Unileska. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and I have no idea how much stuff they're gonna add over time too, right? I feel like there's a lot of different ways to approach the feeling of like the immersion with stuff like that. But people already suspend their disbelief in StarCraft for a million different lore reasons in 1v1. So that's like complaining that Protoss shouldn't be able to make Stalkers or DTs because their Nexus is Daylom or something. It's like my favorite thing about it is that it encourages a diverse and unique and personal play style for people that play it. That's got to be the best part. That's got to be the absolute best part. Just having the ability to get into like the equivalent of a Terran versus Terran, but instead of that, like there's still a couple differences. Like he'll have different mercenary units than you, or he'll pick a mercenary talent, or he'll pick a different talent than you. I guess even if you both had the same mercenaries, you could still pick it wouldn't affect which talent you pick, since you only get one of 3 per level. So every game basically becomes like a roguelike. Hey Roddy, did you miss the ZeroSpace? Yeah. I was apparently I was the only guy that responded to the email about streaming it today, so nobody else knew they could stream it, so they just kind of asked everybody to wait till tomorrow. So I didn't go on too long. But quick TLDR, it's you can zoom in crazy far. The graphics are really nice. The units really stand out from each other, and the mirror matchups basically won't be the same. You pick talents every level. So like you gain EXP from gathering resources and killing enemy units, and there's like towers on the map that give EXP, and you can pick like your units move 10% faster, or like you get minerals for killing workers and stuff. So you like pick you just pick them moving down. Is the name of the other game banned? No, you guys can talk about Stormgate here. My mods are just being very careful to prevent people from doing the people putting each other down thing. That's all. I am very upbeat and positive about both of the games. So this isn't really about comparing those two games. We're talking about ZeroSpace today. If you guys want to talk about Stormgate, there's really no reason to bring it up in this context beyond, it doesn't make sense. They're two games that are both in development. So that's right. It's illegal to be negative in my chat. That's right. Everybody else is worried about not being negative enough, but here we do want to encourage a positive and constructive discussion. Thank you, Sir Chris. Definitely watch next time. Yeah, the VOD is up. The VOD's on the YouTube as well. And we didn't do too much of the in-game because they asked me not to do too much. So the other big streamers plan their streams for tomorrow. So yeah, exactly. There's no need to try to put anybody down. Exactly. Thank you for understanding. Thanks, Kev. Love you, man. Have a great day. I'm gonna be playing it. I'm gonna be playing ZeroSpace all day tomorrow. Tomorrow the official event starts, so I'll be on the whole time. It'll be a good time. I really like the Zerg guys because they spread plants instead of grape jelly. They're very nice. All right, I think we've got everything set up now, right? Okay. I just gotta log into my ladder account. We'll be good to go. How are you guys doing today? You guys having a nice afternoon so far, morning, whatever you're up to? There we go. Fine so far? Nice, nice. Arby's? I don't think I've ever had that. I don't think I've ever had Arby's before. Doing some co-op, working on IRL projects, all good. Nice, nice. New windshield wipers, beautiful. Beautiful. Tight. Just procrastinating. Nice. All right, well, let's play some games. Let's play some games. I'm just going to get on Europe. Accidentally queued a game on NA there. All right, let's rock. Is that not displaying? What's going on here, man? Did it change Windows on me again? Well, that should be working. What is going on there? Let's take a look-see. Did we get the wrong NDI? There we go. Oops. I'm just gonna go next. Sorry about that. I don't know why the game disappeared for a second there. Once we have everything running just fine, we can start playing. I'm sorry to hear that, Rajan. If you ever want to share stuff like that, I would prefer you bring it to the Discord if you're looking for comfort. People in chat might not be so kind, but wishing you all the best. All right, we got a random player for our first game of the day. Let's do Command Center first. Command Center first. That's our build versus random. What's going? SCV ready. Sure thing. Overtime. SCV ready. Yeah, just careful with posting the traumatic stuff out in the open. I feel for you, though. You can always reach out privately. We've got a great community on our Discord. We'll do barracks, command center, expand. If he's Terran, we lose. If he's Zerg, we're fine. If he's Protoss, it's iffy. It'll mostly depend on whatever strat he goes for. Oh, is it Terran? If he goes reactor first, maybe we're okay. I don't know. There's a food channel in the Discord? Yeah, man. Alright, let's GG. Sorry, guys. I didn't know he was Terran, so I couldn't do a gas build. I'm gonna wait for that guy to queue up so I don't get a rematch. I would like to, I'd like to get a good game in, but I don't want to play versus random to start the stream. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sure you all understand. Thank you. Yo, thanks for tipping with Prime, man. I appreciate it. We'll get into a game in just a sec, guys. Here, I'll queue unranked to see if I can avoid him that way. We'll just do one of those. Alright, he's in game. We're safe. All right, we got a game. I hit another random player in a row. Damn. I'm gonna just leave games until I get a non-random matchup. I hope you guys don't get too angry from me doing that. Chat is pissed today. These guys are like, I'm not allowed to say that one game's better than another. I'm very angry. What a wild ride. What a wild ride those 2 hours were, huh, guys? That first hour of the stream was nuts. Alright, that guy's in a game. We're searching. We're searching. I'm gonna keep leaving until I get someone that's not random. Hey, Sound Monk. Isn't the unranked pool the same? No, unranked is not the exact same thing as ranked. You can use unranked to dodge people or snipe people. When you queue unranked, so imagine this, when you queue ranked, it's looking for somebody that's like plus or minus 50 MMR from you, and then it slowly expands out. And when you press unranked, it looks for somebody plus or minus 500 MMR from you, and then it slowly expands out. So if you queue unranked, it's much easier to get a game quickly, so it could make it easier to avoid somebody. I just got another random player. I can do this all day. Gotcha, thanks. No worries, man, no worries. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. I'm just waiting for this guy to queue up for a game. I'm just gonna keep searching unranked though, while I wait. Hey, came on. Thanks for the sub, bro. Day 4 of your League client failing to launch when you click it. You're suffering ARAM withdrawals. There's, have they launched the new season yet? Have they launched the new items? The new season with the items yet, or no? That's the only thing I'm waiting on. Alright, they're all in game. Let's search again. Let's give her another go. We're gonna hit our 5th random player in a row, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you 5. Well, let's put 5 on it. How about that? Let's see, let's see. All right, we got a Terran player. Thank God. I just wanted to play a game of StarCraft where I could know what my build is. That's all. I haven't warmed up enough to play any ridiculous, you know, absurd games. I haven't warmed up enough for that.